coming to you live from the largest British prison in the known universe. It's time for Destiny Down Under.
G'day and welcome to the fucking 168th episode of the Destiny Down Under podcast. My name, as always, is Log Power Slave. It just fucking all went off.
The air horn.
I don't know. Fucking Ableton's got a mind of itself. And for whatever reason, you're still not on the fucking screen. So I'm really happy with the way this is going so far.
I'm
this
just
is
a Discord
just
bot.
pin up fucking DDU as good as it gets. Fucking how you going? Excellent. Wonderful. Right. So, Matt, you're going to talk to the people, and I'm going to fix this real quick, okay?
Right. This week, in the lore of Mylan Games, I've been working really hard. I've got my PhD presentation next week, and I've been banging on about it a bit. It's the last presentation I have to do for my PhD, and then it's just writing. So I've been working pretty hard on that. I've got to do a bit more work today. I haven't got a lore video ready yet because
I'm not slovenly individual.
The bloody Easter sent me back because I was like, I really need to do work, and then me and Danny ended up having the day off, and we're like, yay! And then I didn't do a lore video, so I'll probably have to do that tomorrow. I just finished a stream with Sassy and Adrian. Tried to do some trial stuff. It was okay.
How'd that go? How'd it go?
No, I had a good time. Mate.
It's I don't hate it, but I'm kind of at the point where I'm really getting like I don't know if I'm excited about it for this week. I saw that it was Exodus Blue, and I'm like, oh god, fuck.
It's way better if you don't care.
Yeah. Dude, I'm not a huge giver of fucks to begin with, but it's just getting to that point for me where it's like, do I worry about it? Do I just like not take the toll on my fucking sanity and give myself a week's respite from all of this nonsense? But I don't know.
You've been flawless, right?
Yeah, I've only the once, and on a warlock, disgustingly enough.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so I've been trying like every week, so I can kind of get that shit off my back, you know. Like otherwise, I'm going to be the Titan who only went flawless as a warlock, and I have to live with that. That'll be disgraceful. But yeah, dude, so like what your big PhD thing kicks in next week, then you're all done, then we're gonna get more Mylan games on the YouTube.
No, I'm definitely not all done. It's the final like university check-in to make sure that you've done something in the last 4 years. That's all it really is. So I'm scrambling.
Maddie's just trying to fucking.
But I finished all my analysis, so I am just sort of writing at the moment. So yeah, I think around middle of this year I'll be pretty close to being done, and then it will just be like tidying up stuff and just submitting to journals and just sort of hopefully not doing a whole bunch of research. Hopefully just being unemployed like the rest of the world and doing YouTube videos.
I wouldn't be the one bloke seen out here wishing for unemployment at the moment. It's kind of
actually that's true.
It's in bad taste, but
yeah, but that's how bad PhD is. You fucking wish you.
I wish I didn't have this job. Fuck this.
Well, it's not even a job.
Yeah, just. I wish I didn't have this. It's just a burden. The burden of knowledge. The burden of proving how smart you are to people. Oh,
it's not even that, mate. A PhD is like, how much shit can you take? Like, can you take enough shit to get through 3-4 years? That's all it is.
So it's like 3 or 4 years of trials, is what you're saying.
It's like playing trials every day.
No wonder you can be so fucking wound up. That's brutal.
Yeah, that's what I was really looking forward to this morning. Just playing doing some Destiny and playing a stream, mate. playing his stream and doing some. Oh God.
Yeah, you're rattled.
I'm rattled. My brain's
it's been an atypical start to the podcast, but here we are. We're kicking it off anyway. It's been one of those weeks for me, man. As Maddie and I were talking a little bit last night about a few things that we've got coming up, and I said, like, I had literally uploaded last week's episode and then didn't think about the podcast for fucking 6 days or whatever. Which for me, I'm kind of like the plotter. Like, I'm always thinking about fucking something.
Yeah.
For me, I was just absolutely balls to the wall with work and family stuff, and I'm just like, shit. No, it's like got to last night, like, fuck, we better work this out. But we have, as we always do, and it'll be good. We've got some really stuff we're both really, really quite happy to announce coming out today. So we'll do that in a minute. But yeah, dude. The whole world is just weird at the moment, and my life is no different. It's been strange. I've been working from home a lot, and I've been able to do that now, so that's rad. So I can get on and knock over a couple of games of Destiny in my lunch break. And there was,
dude, that's always dangerous.
It is dangerous, man. You were
dicing with fucking productivity.
Yeah,
dicing.
I don't know. I'm pretty good. Like I kind of didn't realize. I was a bit worried, honestly, when they said, "Oh, look, you can work from home," and I thought, well, I could fuck this up badly and just be a dead shit about it and take the piss. But I do a lot of sort of productive shit at home anyway, so I just kind of fell into that mode. Like I'm in that mode of getting the podcast uploaded immediately after we're done. At home with proper work instead. So, it's been weird, but it's been good. But yeah, there we go. I don't know.
Wow. Wow. We got through that quick.
We did. I mean, I think we're both at the point now where we're just rolling with the punches of life, right? Where I'm just going to do my best and hope for the best, and whatever comes of it will come of it. But
yeah. And like, that's sort of, it's a bit weird because that's how actually, no, it's not always how I roll, but it's almost comforting knowing there's so much drama going on when I have to do this presentation. Because if I really fuck up, I'll just blame it on COVID.
Maddie. But fair enough. Yeah, no, fair enough. I can't argue with it. All right, well, we're gonna hit the sting. We're gonna jump into talking about some exciting stuff, and then we're going to talk Destiny. So, rock and roll. All right. So, first cab off the rank today with the announcements and stuff that we've got to make is that over the last 3 weeks, we've introduced you to a whole heap of really cool SteelSeries gear. And we alluded to the fact that we were going to do something special with giving it away. So, now's the time for us to announce that. And really, we're not going to go down the conventional line of, like we'll give it away to a random follower for following us or retweeting this tweet or whatever that sort of shit is. That, that sort of stuff was never really us to begin with. But given everything that's going on in the world at the moment, we thought, it's an opportunity for us to be able to give someone who's going through a fucking rough time something to, prop them up a little bit, something to, get excited about. And we thought we'd lean on you, our community and our audience to kind of point these people out to us. Now, be that this will form a tweet. this very short little part of the DDU will form a tweet that will go out and basically say that if you are out there and if you are absolutely going through a rough time because of all this COVID shit, we want to know, and we'll Maddie and I will go through and we'll find the most deserving person to give this gear to. So thanks to SteelSeries, and thanks for them, basically sponsoring the show and helping us out, or partnering with us at least. Someone out there that's copping it a bit is gonna get all of this bundle of stuff. So that's the deal. That's the way.
Very nice. And tell me what's the bundle include again? Just a reminder.
The Apex 5, the Apex 3, and the Rival 3, I think. So
as in,
it's the stuff that we went through. Yep, 2 keyboards and a mouse.
A keyboard, a mouse,
and a keyboard.
2 keyboards.
Yeah. Yeah. Whew. I mean, I hope you've got fucking 3 hands. I don't know. I don't care. Like, you can fucking give it to a family member for all we care. That's great. All we ask is that when you get it, you tweet the DDU and you say, thanks or whatever, and show us where you've got it set up and tell us if you're having a good time with it. That's all we give a shit about. We just want you to have a good time.
Nice. So what? Stay tuned for a tweet.
Yep.
And you'll be able to nominate someone who's having a tough time.
Having a tough time. There's plenty of it going around. Doesn't matter where you are in the world. We'll figure out a way to get this stuff to you. Or Dean, our champion mate at Steel Series will. And irrespective of where you are or what you're going through, we just want to give it to someone that's deserving. It didn't feel right to be like, hey, random follower fucking 76. Here's all this shit. Nah, fuck no. You guys are gonna put us in touch with someone who deserves it, and we're gonna give it to them. The end. So thank you.
Nice. Nice. This reminds me of fucking PAX when we just started throwing stuff at people.
Yeah, well, I don't think anyone's ever going to be stupid enough to put me and you on stage with a keyboard to throw at people. But hey, I think Sass had a mad bruise on the back of his neck because I hoiked one of those fucking Gambit coins that were metal, and it was like fucking gave the real, it like arced into his neck. He was like sitting in the auditorium. I shouldn't take a piss because he's literally twice my size. He'll pull my arms off.
Oh, God.
But good times. All right, so on a more serious note, we can get into talking about some Destiny now. And the big thing that has been revealed to us through the week, Thursday Australian time, is the fact that we've got Guardian Games. I mean, we knew it was coming. We didn't know what it was.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's basically the Guardian Olympics is what I'm going to call it. Through just, being a simpleton and whatnot. But it seems like a seasonal event where we're all pitched against each other. Now, I am going to go out on a whim and say that it shits me off because I know that Titans won't win because by weight of population they can't. And I know that they said...
Yeah, but
I know
they scale it.
They put the thing in it. Oh, yeah, we're not going to let hunters, we're going to pen them in. Fuck off. They're still going to win. They're still going to win. And that's what shits me.
Yeah, that's because of the hunter personality. Everyone's an arrogant piece of shit.
Yeah, I don't know. See, look,
including me.
Including you. You fucking newly fucking minted hunter piece of shit. Right? That's the other fucking plot twist that's sort of happened over the last 3 weeks where Matt came back to Destiny heaps more full time. Oh yeah, I'm a Titan. He's a hunter now. No loyalty.
There's a reason why everyone plays hunters, man. They're too good PvP.
It's fucking Destiny on easy mode. And if you're sitting at home and you listen to this or at work or wherever and you just got that little triggered moment, good, because I fucking wanted it to land.
So how does it work? Do we know what activities you have to do?
No, well, it says that there's, I imagine they're going to be daily bounties and stuff, daily activities for your class. So I'm not sure what that entails as yet, but I'm sure it'll be fleshed out over the coming week.
So it could be like Crucible activities, or it could be Strike activities. Or
I strongly suspect that it's going to be something that runs the gamut of just about everything Destiny, except the real pinnacle shit, like the raids won't be involved, but it'll be Strikes, Gambit, fucking Crucible, all that sort of stuff. But I don't know. I mean, we have been clamoring for this sort of thing for a while in that, since faction rallies went away, we didn't really have that, needless identity cling thing that, everyone got angry about and sledged each other about on the internet for a bit, which, I've said in the past, I think that that's part of the best Destiny in the community stuff, like where, and I guess that they're tapping into the one thing that people are probably more prideful of than anything else in the class. So look at the way, Man at Arms is already carrying on Twitter about all this shit. And it's kind of, it'll be funny. It'll be fun. But interestingly enough, there's a few things that are coming along with it. First and foremost, they demoed, I'll pull it up here. There we go. Oh, no, that's the wrong screen. Never mind. What the fuck is, here we go. This is annoying the shit out of me. I thought it was Discord that was wrong, but maybe it's just me. maybe everything in my entire setup has fucked itself. Here we go. There we go. Look, the Heir Apparent. Now we can look at it because it's on the right screen. So the new exotic heavy LMG, they're calling it. Basically, it takes time to spin up. It's like, to me, it sounds like Sweet Business on crack. You fall into second place as you reach for the last trick in your arsenal. The low hum assures you that you've pulled the trigger. It begins to spin slowly for a moment, and then in an instant, landingly fast. The roar of Heir Apparent rises above the crowd. The tide turns, and the glory of your class is secured. What?
You went through many.
I know. I just couldn't commit. Couldn't commit to a voice.
I reckon we just move on. I reckon don't say anything. Just move on from that, because
let's not dwell on that. That was
you went through. You actually ended up back in Star Wars at the end.
I did go a bit Palpatine. I really did go a bit Palpatine. So that's
Law is so easy. It's so easy to read law. Can't read one fucking paragraph.
Mate, I don't want to read a paragraph. That's the difference. At least my Palpatine impressions will keep people awake, you cheeky son of a bitch. All right, so we're getting the exotic, LMG. It does look incredibly cool. There's also a little sparrow there. I'll pull that up quickly for a second. Here we go. You watch Tess crane her head, nut neck over. You watched Tess crane her neck over the counter to catch a glimpse of the podium in the center of the tower. The shelves behind her are lined with new emotes and universal ornaments sets to help you represent your class with pride. 2 new ships and sparrows are parked in the warehouse, ready to make your rivals eat your dust. She has plenty to do.
The ship or the sparrow?
No, well, this is the sparrow. This is written under the sparrow, so it's.
Where
saying
do you write it?
You write it at home. Just I don't know.
No, I can't see where the seat is.
Oh, where do you sit?
Where do you sit on it?
That's a very good question. Where do you sit? Yeah.
You see these Guardians riding it fucking backwards? Like,
what the fuck? I am so appreciative of you in that very practical question, because now I'm not going to be able to think about where the fuck you sit on this sparrow. Where, like, there? Like, there's no seat there. You'd end up with usually jats would be smashed after riding around for a bit on that, wouldn't they? That'd absolutely.
Or is it a ship? That's what I asked. I think it's a ship. It's got to be a ship.
It looks like a sparrow.
Well, maybe
that's the ship. But it looks like it's a sparrow ship. I mean, I hope it's the ship, because then you can sit in here and it all makes sense. But fuck. Anyway. Back to
it's a ship. Now that I've brought it up. But it
says it's a sparrow. They've been talking about the sparrow. Look.
And sparrows.
Look. There's the ships there. You get a paper plane. There you go. There's the ship. There's the, yeah. Fucking hell, what are we doing? How to talk shit about a game that you love. All right, so probably more cool than any of that shit, though, is the fact that it comes with a class emblem that indicates where your class is coming in the grand scheme of things in this race. So while I'm imagining mine's going to be a shitty brown bronze, being a Titan for the most part, I will wear it with pride, and I think it's a cool feature. It's, you can kind of see
it changes each day, right?
Yeah. I think it's just based on who's winning for that day, or it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess if you want to jump on, if that's the only live indicator, it'll give you a reason to wear it, right? But I doubt that. I strongly suspect.
The podium's pretty cool too.
In the tower. Look, let's just have a look at this. Here
it shows you who's winning. Snake, tiger, or the lion and the eagle.
Here we go. Right.
Yeah, right.
The other thing then is they're not actually on the Guardian Games page. I'll also go and see if I'm pretty sure they're in the 12. But the ghosts with the little animal clinging to the side of them. Pretty happy with that actually, because Titans are a lion, which is excellent because I like lions. So we can do that. Hang on, I'll pull it up. Here we go. Where are we? There we go. Yep. Look.
You reckon it's an eagle for the warlock, or is it meant to be like a phoenix?
I think it's a budgerigar. I think it's a
kookaburra.
It's a budgerigar, and the hunter is a tapeworm. Just wrapped.
God, we're a bit off today, aren't we? We are not usual. We are not landing any of these jokes.
No. But that's okay because who cares? Let's go. So I mean that's what's coming up. That's the focus of the 12. That's the focus of the 12 is Guardian Games, and we're going to get our hands on the Heir Apparent. Now, the other thing that's been going on through the week is the Guardian's Heart charity initiative, and we've seen Ilulu and Clyde and a whole heap of people streaming in support of this. So if you are out and about, keep your eye on Twitter because they're announcing a lot of it through there, but you can jump in and get involved, and any donation of $20 or more will earn you the exclusive Guardian Heart emblem. I'll pull it up here. It's cute as shit. Look at this, very orange. I like it. So that is going out in support of the relief efforts for COVID-19 over in the States. I'm not sure if it's international, but at this point it doesn't really matter because they're obviously the hardest hit at the moment. So if you can do anything to help, it would be greatly appreciated obviously by Bungie, but by us as well. So go out, do the right thing. We've got a long history of that in this community. So there you go. So honestly, not much in the TWAB, and we don't know that much about what we're going to be doing in Guardian Games other than I strongly suspect that it's going to be like bounties. Just do these bounties and whoever turns in the most bounties, which for me will probably not be the most fucking engaging form of content.
When do the Grand Masters come out? When do the Grand Masters come out?
I think they're the week after next, aren't they? I don't know. Chat.
I remember saying it had a couple weeks, I think.
Yeah, so not this reset. Are they this week as well? Wow. I did not know that. I thought it was next week. But anyway, I'm sure there's a roadmap I can...
it's with the games, right?
Yeah, right. 21st. Jesus, that's come around quick. It's the 18th now. All right, so weekly reset, they come up, so we can start looking at that. It'll be interesting to see how widely supported that is, because it does sound cool, and it's kind of designed for the PvE community to really sink their teeth into. But I just think that everyone's a little bit burnt out with things at the moment. It might have been one of those things that came at the wrong time, But time will tell. Time will tell.
I think if it had a reward, I think it would make it.
Yeah, I was trying not to get into kicking it in the guts too hard. But yeah, if you're expecting people to do this really hard shit for next to nothing.
Do you know what would make it good? Having a reward for doing really hard stuff.
Like doing a doctorate in arts or something. Just struggling for years and years and years and years. This arduous task, and then what are you going to do with it?
Sorry, Danny, art majors out there.
Did it all for nothing.
There's professors out there in arts.
Yeah, well, I mean, good on them. I'm happy for them. But yeah, I mean, the other thing, and I don't know if you want to get into jumping out and talking about it, Matt, was the leak that came out this week about the veil and all of that. That was very, very early this week. I haven't read any of it. We've always steered clear of it on the podcast, and it's one of those things that I think we'll continue to do purely because I don't fucking believe a word of it, so I can't sit here and say it. But I do hope that's we're headed towards some kind of really significant fucking September release on Bungie's part, because I feel like
the only thing that makes these leaks like people excited is the person whoever writes the leaks has a tiny bit of lore knowledge.
Yeah.
And so it's always close enough for the collapse, the veil, dark guy. Like shit we've been talking about forever anyway.
Yeah. The winnower.
You
got a good buzzword in there, buddy. I mean, maybe it's fucking real and we're going to be like, then again, we don't hold ourselves to account for anything we say, so we're not going to revisit this. Maybe we're wrong.
Nah.
Who cares?
When it's true, we'll say, we called it.
We called it. I remember talking about that on the podcast back in April. It could be true. It could be not.
I mean, I hope it's true. I mean, we're waiting for Dark Guardians for fucking ever.
Well, to me, that the whole plot line around another collapse and all that sort of stuff ties into perfectly with, launching another numbered iteration of the game, or the final numbered iteration of the game, or whatever you want to do. In that, we're going to need to do something that fucking strips us of all of our gear again, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe we're in the final version, but I don't think that's the case. But yeah. All right, Matty, what did you get up to this week in terms of law? What I mean?
Oh
Monday.
God, I thought you had Australia in terms of law. What did I make? I think I made. I made a talk about all these clickbait YouTubers making bloody. Yeah, I made a little video about the pyramid ships.
Did ya? Oh, got him.
Got him.
All right. So what were your takeaways? What were your choice cuts?
Oh fuck! I haven't quite prepared for this. This is the main takeaway. Is so I was just minding my own business, playing Destiny, doing live streams. Every second person was like, "Have you seen the new bunker?" I was like, "No, not really, because I haven't really been bothered to go and have a look at it." You need to go to the new bunker, okay? Then obviously it was the hologram of the pyramid ships. I was like, cool.
Yep.
So I thought, I'll write a video. Everyone's like, what are your thoughts on it? I'm like, well, I don't know. So I was like, I better go research it, see what comes up. And I hadn't really done like a pyramid ship summary video in quite a while. And so I just started collecting everything we knew about the pyramid ships. And for the most part, a lot of it's quite hidden because it doesn't directly reference the pyramid ships. So things will be like, an angular fleet, approached Earth, or like an angular shadow. It'd be like stuff that strongly hints it's a pyramid-shaped fleet, or like Osiris's predictions and stuff like that. But if you were to just search on Ishtar and say pyramid ships, you wouldn't find them. So I had a good look through all my notes and basically picked out nearly every season since I want to say Forsaken had a character or a lore entry that started to hint at the pyramid ships. So like Osiris made a prophecy, Brother Vance made a prophecy in the most recent one, Callus made a prophecy, the Drifter made a prophecy, Marasov made a prophecy, the Nine, I think. So actually, like a lot of people were pointing in this direction for a long time. Everyone's saying that collapse is coming, pyramid ship's coming. So that's sort of what the latest video was about, was like, hey guys, I know everyone's excited about this, but this is sort of not really new. This is sort of following the trend of every season since Forsaken, of like adding at least one aspect of the pyramid ship invasion. So it's exciting, but at the same time, I'm like, don't be too excited. Like, we've been working towards this for like quite a while now. So when you go back and look at it retrospectively, I don't know how close we are to facing them.
Well, I think
it's not
that's
going to be this season.
That's what people are kind of like excited about, though, in that I saw Paul Tarzi's article sort of lining up the progression of the little blobs and dots and shit with basically a timeline of about 12 weeks or whatever it was. So maybe that's right. I'm not sure, but it seems that we're kind of finally coming to a point where something's actually going to fucking happen, and we're not getting all this ominous. But if I did have to bet on when it would be that it was going to happen, it'd be September. That would be my take. I don't think that next season we're going to see pyramid ships turn up and shit on everything. I think it'll be the season after, if not the next iteration of the franchise, which I think is probably too long, really. But man, I mean, you're right. You raise a valid point in that we've been talking about this for fucking since Destiny 2, right? Like what? 3 years nearly now. So the Dorito ships have been coming for that long. They're obviously the slowest ship in the fucking universe because it's taken them that long to get here. Or they're already here.
Slower is fucking the Almighty.
Yeah, it's like that fucking Austin Powers scene where old mate gets run over by the. They're coming. Get out of the way.
Move out the way.
Yeah. So it's about that, but. I mean, the other thing that I wanted to pick your brain about, and it does seem a little bit odd, is that why are we having a Guardian Olympics when the Almighty's about to crash into the tower. Does that seem like a good time?
Yeah, that doesn't seem really well aligned, does it?
No. Not for me, no. I feel like this.
And now I think this is one of those scenarios. It's like making games is hard. Like sometimes things don't work out.
The suspension of disbelief is just a little bit pushed in this regard. In this season, I think it's probably two independent assets that they've been building alongside each other, and this just happened to be when they're like, "Oh, we can. This is the time frame for this. This is the time frame for that," and it's fallen together at the same time. And now it's like, "Hey, look, I know that there's a giant ship screaming towards the city, and you need to stop it, and you needed Rasputin's help, and he's the most serious character in probably the history of Destiny, and now he's just suddenly turned friendly, but also you get fit and compete for your class in the Guardian.
You know, I think they could have done it. I reckon it just shouldn't have. You know, I didn't even think about it, to be honest. So I would understand why they wouldn't think about it. But I guess if it wasn't called like Guardian Games, like someone just said in chat, if it was just like prepare for the darkness event, and like we want to see who our strongest Guardians are, and you just give them, you know, if it wasn't so Olympic themed, you could make it work.
Yeah, I think that's just the thing, is that it's just too big of a departure of tone, hey? It's like, it's you know, like the dawning is like this magical season and there's fucking snow and shit everywhere. And that's kind of Christmas and that's all good. When now it's like we're in the middle of the year. We always sort of historically have a bit of a lull here with Destiny. This has always been the kind of off season, if you will. And then, you know, here's the Olympics, but also there's a giant spaceship about to crash in your head. The other thing that we didn't talk about last week that we were going to talk about and kind of fell off the radar because we were talking, you know, had such a great conversation with Jake about all the Watermelon Exo stuff and all of that, was the cutscene on opening the most recent bunker where Zavala is in there listening to the voice recordings of the collapse happening and basically says to Rasputin that he never thought about the toll it took on Rasputin to survive and live through the collapse. And that now he understands him and will spoon him when they go to bed or whatever.
Yeah, that's a good summary. I sort of forgot about that. Yeah. Nice.
I don't know. I mean, for me, I kind of watched it. I accidentally recorded my whole stream that night. So I've got my own reaction to it and I was going to put it up, but it's a bit harsh. So I probably won't. So it was basically me going, what the fuck? Because it felt like, so all of this time, Rasputin, the kind of secretive, brutal, completely, you know, like driven by outcome-driven fucking AI war mind, has just been a bit upset about the fact that he failed people during the collapse. And now it's all okay because Zavala understands him. Like,
I hear you. I hear you.
And I kind of looked at Zavala. Yeah. I looked at Zavala down the scope of my gun during that cutscene, just like, why are you here? Go away. I love Lance Reddick. Don't get me wrong, but for fuck's sake. It was like, oh, I don't know. I don't understand why Zavala's so tied in with these war mind storylines anyway. It's like, he's just a bloke. And he's this all-knowing fucking AI construct, and we've got to say
he's a Vanguard commander. That's why he's
just
there.
A bloke. He's just a blue bloke. He's just a blue man group.
He's a Vanguard commander, and he looks after the city. That's why he's there. And he doesn't like Rasputin.
He's just paranoid. He's paranoid and delusional.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, those ones always take me a little bit of time to go back and watch and learn and think about it. I honestly hadn't given it much thought. And have you been doing any of the tower events?
The
Seraph Towers?
No. I'm going to go out on a whim and say that they probably this is almost certainly the least participated in season since the release of probably the season.
Dude, I went to do one on Io and no one was there.
Yeah.
I couldn't even do it.
I haven't even done the one on Io. I've done the one on Earth and I was like, this is not for me, thanks. It just takes too long. It's annoying. I don't know. I mean, for us, it probably came
I like the activity. I don't mind doing it, but the thing is, if no one's there, you can't do it. It's sort of like everyone rocks up and there's no one there. So everyone just leaves again. So it's one of those things where you have to get player buy-in for it to work.
And it's just not there. Yeah.
And there's no player buy-in.
Well, I guess I'm the problem for you then, Matt. I'm the guy that's just like, nah.
Yeah, but it's like circular because you don't show up, I don't show up, and then no one shows up.
And then no one shows up. It's kind of there's a bit of that going on in Destiny at the moment, and it's hard. It's a really hard juggle. It's like for some, I hadn't even considered that, honestly. I thought that there would have been enough people sort of loading into instances of each planet that they could clump them together and get them to go, but I didn't realize it was that dire. So yeah, I mean, it's been happening with Trials as well. I mean, Trials is this diminishing pool of players because it's sort of the skill creep, as we've spoken about in the past, is really starting to catch up with it now. I haven't played yet this week. Exodus Blue, Matt, how did you go? Did you get your 3 wins?
We got 3 wins. Okay. It actually wasn't really. It wasn't really sweaty, to be honest. I mean, Sassy was memeing, so he was using whatever guns.
Was he using Arbalest? He was using Arbalest when.
Yeah, he was using Arbalest and fucking God knows what.
A mean man.
So I didn't think it was super sweaty. I mean, we didn't do as well, but we also weren't taking it super serious either.
Yeah.
We definitely came up against some teams at Sassy New that just stomped us, but actually it wasn't a stomping fest the whole time.
I think I didn't get 3 wins last week, and I think that's a thing that's really grating on me, is that you've got to get that 3-win fucking milestone to be able to turn in the shitload of tokens that you get, like trying to get you 3 wins. And obviously the average skill of people participating in Trials has sort of surpassed my own ability now. So I'm kind of like, okay, well, I've either got to play with people who are considerably better than me and hope that they can carry my inept ass through games, or get lucky and come up against people like myself. So I don't know. I'm really, really concerned about the future of it. But I mean, we've spoken about this before, so we don't really need to retread the ground. What we might do, ladies and gentlemen, is jump into any questions that you've got, rocking and rolling in the chat, because there's not a lot of news going on until we see these, what we're actually doing in Guardian games. We haven't really got anything to talk about. So, yeah, if you've got any questions, and
are you going to work towards these master things or not? These Grand Masters?
Yeah, but I've got a bit of leveling to do, man, because I've been playing Trials has been my focus. I don't even think I've done a raid yet this season, so I've not.
Dude, neither have I.
I've not been chasing pinnacles at all, right? Because once you're at, I mean, I probably should have been, because it would have helped me in Trials a little bit, but like, I don't know. I will go into the Grandmasters in the first week and get absolutely fucking slapped. And then I'll probably spend a few weeks seriously building towards it.
Dude, the pinnacle grind is so hard.
I just think that it's
one of those. There's just not enough places to get them.
Yeah. And they're not in places that you particularly want to be anyway. Right?
Like I did the Iron Banner. I thought that was fine. But
Iron Banner's all right.
What, you get like 2 point levels?
Yeah, like on your year, two and it comes around every few weeks. So I think, like, especially now when, the game's in a bit of a lull, they've got to fucking open the pockets a little bit and start, giving people some more opportunity to level up playing the game they want to play, rather than like, here's the select list of activities. It's always kind of irked me that, like raids should absolutely have pinnacles, but when they're the focus of it, when the vast majority of people don't even play raids, and I know that that'll probably shock a few people, but the completion of them is fucking low in general in the community compared to,
don't you think we should rotate raids to give pinnacles?
I honestly have been expecting that to be something that has came for a long time. Like in seasons where there is no new raid, they say, okay, well, the most recent raid, Garden, is, it's always going to drop a pinnacle, and fuck any of the other ones just for this season or this week or whatever, or this month. It doesn't really matter. Like, just rotate them through. So give people an incentive to go out and play the old content, because it's just as good as it always was, man. Like some of the raid lairs and, Last Wish is sitting there idle with no real reason to do it. Like, I would love for there to be a, bring them up to level, boom. Even if they don't bring them up to level, I don't give a shit. I just think that, there's definitely a disconnect there in how rewarding the game is. I think that they kind of anticipated that. I mean, the issue is that the easier you make it to get, the faster the real, like, dedicated people will be at level, and there's always a balancing act there.
Yeah, I know. And this is why I rolled my eyes at the beginning, because we're like, now we're those fucking people, it's too hard. I can't do that activity.
Yeah, but I mean, like, the majority of the player base isn't playing Destiny all day, every day. And, you know, like, even the people who historically have, you know, streamers and stuff that have played Destiny all day, every day as a job, are picking up other games, like Glad. You know, he's realized that Destiny is in a lull at the moment, and he's going to, for the sake of his mental health, do something else. So why not make it a little bit easier for everyone to get to the fucking end game, and, well, not get to the end game, but level up and be able to do these things like the Grandmaster Nightfalls and stuff, rather than, I don't know. I mean, it's obviously something that's, you know, they've got their long-term strategies for the way they want leveling to work, but I just feel like it's in a shit spot at the moment. Anyway, let's jump in. I saw a few questions. Let's go.
Right.
Freshie, question for Log. Do you know that the expression is out on a limb, not out on a whim? What? Did I say out on a whim? I know what out on a limb means. I say on a whim. Right. Tyler Dyler. How would you create an incentive to do Grandmaster Nightfalls? Masterwork mats don't make sense, because if you're going into Grandmaster Nightfalls, you most likely have your top tier build already. It's a valid question. So what currently in game item do we think?
Okay, here it is.
Yep.
Here it is. You ready?
Yep.
So it's going to be Grandmaster Nightfall specific, and it's going to be an ornament, so no one fucking whinges, but it's going to be the ornaments we got with the original raids when they re-released them, the Crota ones and the Vexy ones, that make you look absolutely dope.
I agree.
Remember them?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. And I think
the armor was absolutely insane.
I think even if, you know,
based on whatever the theme the Nightfall is, whatever fucking enemy it is, if it's Vex, give us some fucking dope Vex armor. If it's Cabal, give us the Vex leg was so good.
Actually,
maybe you can't do per Nightfall because that would be a lot of work, but something like that, I think.
Yeah, but you could do like a bounty that ties together do 3 Grandmaster Nightfalls, and then you get the thing. I mean, obviously they're going to be fucking incredibly difficult, and, you know, like, I think that they should each be rewarded. But even if they went, you do this, and you get rewarded with a random piece of Eververse gear, just because it's something that you probably didn't have already, and there's an actual tangible reward, right? Like, this isn't shit that you'd go out and buy. This is from the entire loot pool in the history of Destiny from Eververse, and you go and you do a Grandmaster Nightfall, you'll get that and maybe a high-level piece of armor. Give people the opportunity to go back and find fucking cosmetic stuff that they can't buy. I don't know. Maybe. Let's just think about.
I just think you can't put like an exotic. You can't put an exotic there because it'd be unorthodox. Thank you so much for this.
Yeah, I don't know why you're subscribing to this garbage.
I
don't think it can be an exotic. I don't think it can be like, it can't be a gate. So
what else would there be left? You couldn't do
exotics
armor either, really.
Exotics are like less valuable than just a good rolled piece of gear, like as it stands now. Like, the best weapons in Destiny's meta right now, for the most part, are legendaries anyway. So, like, unless you're going to get a chance to maybe get a different stat roll on a bit of gear that you really love, fine. But it's also like, you know, as Tyler said, people going into these activities have already got a top tier build. They don't need anything. They don't need anything that they can reasonably already get in game, because that's their thing. So what can't they just acquire in game? Old Eververse stuff that is no longer available, ornaments, things like that. I think there's so much of that sort of stuff that you rarely ever see, like, because it's all tied up in the Eververse loot pool, that, you know, and it's moved past. It's not there anymore. So I don't understand why they aren't utilizing those assets. I don't know.
Toast Pinnacle Drop, 1 Ascendant Shard, 3 Prisms, 5 Gauls, unique shader, emblem. I mean, you're definitely already getting the emblems and that, and a whole bunch of Pinnacle stuff to level up. I mean, what about what you said? Like, like a type of legendary. You know, we have had the Nightfall legendaries in the past.
Yeah, I mean,
We'll still
it
have
kind of sucks that there's no, that there's still the Nightfall specific legendaries that are out there, but
something new.
It wasn't a concept that they brought forward with Hashler Dune doesn't drop anything, so they can't kind of rely on that either, So I just think, I don't know, man, it's a hard one. It's in such an awkward spot because ultimately they want you to be at the absolute pinnacle before you can attempt this, so it has to be something that's cosmetic.
Yeah,
I mean, Jugs
has a point in chat. He's saying, "Well, there's no point to do them more than once." But I actually don't. I think if they're hard enough, isn't that okay? Maybe you only want to do it.
Yeah, well, I mean, they are on the weekly rotation that will get you and honestly, it's probably the coolest fucking title in the game so far, Conqueror. I think that's cool. So you've got to complete all of them to be able to get that title. So. That's kind of an incentive, and I guess it's kind of a cosmetic thing that you display the title down the line. But I got a feeling that that's going to be like a Reckoner one that because there's not that many people around playing the game at the moment. It's in a bit of a dead spot, and it's just going to be left.
Maybe that's the title I go for. Maybe that's the title I go
that's
for.
It.
Maybe
that's it. I don't know. I mean, I'll give it a go. But I've got a feeling that I'm just going to get absolutely fucking slapped because I'm kind of below level, and I think that they're going to make them that difficult that it really needs to be, you need to be a person that is about that kind of content. But we've been getting slapped in PvP. We might as well get slapped in PvE as well. Oh, right. What else have we got here in terms of questions? Nick actually raised a valid point a little bit further back in that the pinnacles. The regular powerful drops actually become pinnacle drops later in the season. They said around the end of April they'll be doing that. So I had forgotten about that. So thanks for the reminder, mate. If that is the case, then that'll probably make a lot of the complaining that I just did redundant. Is that
still changing though, or not really?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to go and have a look because I'd completely forgotten about it. So yeah, there's that. All right, what else have we got? One of Bungie's goals was for these to be watchable. It's not going to take a lot of content if streamers are interested in doing it. Yeah. So, yeah, what Jugs is tapping into saying there is that, they did design this to kind of be something that people would want to jump in and see Glad or Ninja or whoever do, right? So if they're only really worth doing once, it's not really a watchable thing, is it? Unless people are going to start doing carries. But by the sound of it,
so we talk about all the. So James, what do you want? What do you think? It needs to be what? What would you put in there then? I don't see what the option is. I don't understand what you would put. What you would want in there? What strong random roll? The only way you can make it repeatable is to have random drops, right? So you grind for it. So what would you do? It drops. What if it drops masterworked? Everything's masterworked, but it's still random.
I mean, cores kind of could matter to someone like me that hasn't finished masterworking their gear. But what is a grandmaster weapon?
Per strike with random rolls. Grandmaster weapon. That'd be cool.
I just think they could drop normal weapons, but with an extra perk, like what we saw on the season of whatever last season was.
Senchi alternate endings to raids.
Yeah, that seems feasible. Fucking bring it. Yeah,
I could get behind fucking masterwork drops. You don't have to fucking infuse stuff.
Oh, mate. That is the thing about Destiny that makes me feel poor, to be perfectly honest. Just that forever trying to fucking, I don't know.
Economy.
I mean, yeah. It stings me. But what can you do? Never mind. I was going to try and do something, but I can't. All right. Well, it was a good conversation.
It's getting heated.
Sorry, we didn't mean to start an argument. We just want
but this is what happens, man. This is what happens when people when content's in a bit of a lull, everyone starts fighting amongst themselves.
It'll probably be me and you next week.
Yeah.
What can we have a good old biff about?
We all want to play Destiny, really.
Yeah.
And we feel like we can't. or there's not stuff for us to
You know
do.
what it is. You know what it is. And I've seen this sort of shit. Everyone's a bit angrier online, and obviously there's a whole heap of like global factors like COVID and all that shit that are going on.
Yeah.
That are making people a bit worse. But I think the thing with Destiny is that Destiny scratches an itch, and when it gets like this, it doesn't. So we're just itchy, right?
Yeah. Everyone's just like their Destiny.
Yeah. You know, like
yes, I've been feeling like that.
Yeah, and it's just not fulfilling. It's not, you can't get out of it what you normally would, and I think that's sort of where we're all at, and that's probably what we're seeing in the chat right now. Guys that are absolutely passionate about this game, but it's I don't know, it's awkward, man, and it makes for fucking difficult podcasting because we don't have all that much to talk about. But Shax is here. So
typical podcasting.
Typical fucking podcasting. What I will look to do for the next few weeks is that when we have episodes like this, we'll set it up so that we do a bit of an open forum at the end, so people can jump in, we can have a chat, and we can talk about things over voice rather than us just third hand reading out your comments and trying to keep up with what's going on in chat. Because we do really respect the fact that people care about this, and everyone's got their own opinion, and I think everyone's entitled to their own opinion. So we'll look to do that over coming weeks, on weeks that we don't have a guest on, which we're trying to do more of as well. But
I like Big Fish's idea about stat rolls, almost like guaranteed high stat rolls.
Well, guaranteed higher stat rolls, like say mid 60s.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the way Iron Banner works already, right? Like sort of
that's
60
sort of
plus.
how I didn't realize that's how Iron Banner basically is.
Yeah, I mean all of my gear bar, my helmet is just reskinned Iron Banner shit. That's the way it is. I don't know. It's an awkward one. I thought Season of Dawn had the weapons that could roll with an additional perk, right? Or am I making that up? I'm pretty sure it did. Anyway, I think if we could do that with currently existing weapons, you could get some really disgusting shit out of it. I think it'd be good.
What if you had a specific mod that you could only get from the Grandmaster, a Grandmaster mod?
I like the idea of it, but, and there's a huge but we've already got a fuckload of mods and stuff that we can get out of the seasonal content that everyone largely ignores anyway, and had that last season as well. There was that whole mechanic that we were talking about last week with Jake that no one really even dove into. It's sort of like, okay, well, mods really aren't, like they're powerful, but I don't think that they're powerful enough that it changes the way that the game's played to the point that people really go out and find them. They're kind of refreshing in a way, but good.
Mod extra damage to hunters in the Crucible.
I'm fine with it. Actually, you've sold me on the idea, Freshy. Good on you, mate. Yeah, we should do that, especially now when it's class competitions and we can do the fucking who gets the most kills in the Crucible.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Well, what we might do, we might start wrapping up unless anyone else has got any questions burning a hole in their pocket. But we'll find someone to host. We'll find someone to jump in on and say good day to and all of that good stuff. But
can we reflect? Was this a tough podcast?
This was a tough podcast, dude. This was.
Sorry, guys. It felt fucking tough.
Well, you know what? It fucking threw me straight off the bat when the bloody thing didn't work at the start. And for whatever reason, after having it set up for fucking years at this point, it just shits itself and wigs out. So it has been a tough app.
It's been a bit of a tough podcast.
Yeah, it's been a tough one. It's not been super fun. I mean, I love getting in here and talking to everyone. I love getting in and talking to Matt, but it's kind of annoying me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. It's hard when we get to a point where, I wish there was more information on Guardian games so we could sit here and have a good dive into it and talk about it a bit and say, well, this is what we're looking forward to. But it's rough.
This would have been a good time. We should have brought in the gaming news at the end of this one. We should have done some general gaming news, but I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah, I have been making a concerted effort not to read any fucking news whatsoever because it's shit for your mental health when there's a pandemic on. So that's kind of why I've not been across everything. I don't even scroll through Twitter at the moment. I just fucking get on there, say something, and then run away.
Oh, well, hey, how about this?
Yeah,
Valorant. Have we spoken about Valorant? Have you seen it?
Look, I've looked at it briefly. I don't think it's for me because there's some incredibly skilled Destiny players, and I'm not talking about Wish. I'm talking about other people that have jumped in and got shat on. Like I like the premise, but fuck that guy. I put out a tweet yesterday. It takes a special kind of clown to unite an entire disenfranchised community. He seems to do it all the time. Anyway, we're on the podcast. Should be talking shit.
Like the only thing I'm thinking is like, well, Destiny's a really, really heavy movement system. I wonder if I went to a game which it wasn't about movement and you just have to stand still and aim. I wonder if I'll do better. Probably not.
You won't, because I've been playing COD and I'm not doing better. It's one of those things where I like jump back in and I'm like, I have blinder games where I just smash everyone, and then I have games where I'm like, I feel like I can't even like look at people before I'm dead. It's insane. It is absolutely insane. I'm like, where are these kids? Are they like fucking? They're in a basement somewhere, just jacked up on Adderall or whatever. Just fucking. Oh, I can't even compete.
Oh man!
Gonna jump in. Are you playing as well, Tyler? I'll jump in for a game, dude. Of course. It's good fun.
Call of Duty, baby. Oh, there you go, Valorant. It's a no from the DDU podcast.
Yeah, no VDU podcast anytime soon. The one thing that I did see about Valorant is that the game is still in a locked beta and it's already been fucking hacked. And if that isn't a statement on where gaming is in 2020, I don't know what is. So,
I mean, maybe that's adding to all the nastiness around gaming, because I saw a lot of people tweeting like, "Why is everyone fucking hacking for? Can you all fuck off?"
Yeah, it's like that, dude. It's just, I don't know what's happened, but it was kind of like, maybe I'm just more open to it because it really hit the skids with Destiny and Trials, right? Like it really got bad. But I just feel like it's one of those things that it's kind of like, it's across everything. It's fucking everywhere at the moment. And even a game that had been out for like 4 days at that point had been out and like being drip fed to a community that was salivating, already had hacks out. So someone's already managed to get in there, get the game, and hack it in 4 days. That's fucking dire, man. I don't know how you work around.
Did you see my? Did you see my hackers? My hack tweet?
No. Did you get hacked? Oh yeah, I did.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, but you take it in the right spirit. You laugh about it. You just.
Yeah, because that's because it was the first time, and it was just like not even subtle in the slightest. Like, 960 character, whatever the lowest you could be, using blue weapons, like instantly spawns in with a tether, infinite grenades, speed hacks. He got the whole fucking package. He got everything.
Yeah, he toggled on everything ever.
He toggled on everything. Infinite respawns, everything.
ID, DWD, or whatever it was. Fucking God mode, activate. Let's go. Oh, I don't know. I just feel like
Megaton had someone hacking in a strike mission.
Wow. That's a new low, isn't it?
I mean, seriously. Fuck.
It kind of begs the question, though. I mean, I know a lot of the speedrunning community was absolutely, the arse has fallen out of that community because of the sword changes that they made. But given that all these hacks are out there, surely you can just take them into a raid and be absolutely pounding through a fucking raid with hacks on as well. It's not just PvP. I mean, obviously that's where we see the most of it. But there's got to be like groups of 6 hackers all jumping in together, ripping through raids. No fucking worries.
I've never thought about that.
Yeah, I mean, like, can you imagine
infinite supers just running through?
I mean, if they don't get a fucking handle on it, it's going to make any world's first raid race pretty fucking interesting from here on in. They're going to have to go through and
we haven't seen that before, eh?
No, I just think that I mean, we sort of had the first raid. I mean, we've only had the one raid since the transition to Steam, but I'm very, very, very concerned about how they manage that going forward. Anyway, it is what it is. It is what it is. Here's a bit of doom and gloom for your Saturday.
I was trying to lift the podcast up at the end.
Yeah,
we just got smacked back down.
Just keep fucking talking about hackers and disgruntledness, but it is what it is. All right. Well, what we might do, we're gonna host in someone. We're gonna raid. We're gonna jump in on good old Travel Danielle. I haven't caught up with her for a while, so we're gonna do that. We'll be back next week, same time. Well, probably not the same time. I don't know. At some time on a Saturday. It seems to be we're in a bit of a mood at the moment where we're not particularly adherent to a schedule. But if you are out there and you have someone in mind for giving away the SteelSeries stuff to someone who's going through a particularly rough spot with the COVID-19 stuff, please tweet us, because that's literally the one thing that we're absolutely psychotically passionate about at the moment. We want to be able to make sure that goes to the right person. So, international freshie. So no matter where you are on the planet, we'll work out getting something to you. So rock and roll. Maddie, where will the law find the good people of the DDU podcast?
Oh, who gives a fuck?
Who gives a fuck? It's been hacked anyway. All the law's been fucking hacked. Fuck. I'd normally end the podcast, but I just feel like
See you guys. Have a good night.
Bye.